It's time now for the Peter Channel Evening News on this Monday evening, September 14th, 2016. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter Wiggins here. Evening News and here at 6:45 p.m. on this Wednesday evening, and our top story at 6:45 is White Plains, New York, where Hillary Clinton's campaign released a letter from her doctor Wednesday discovered her treatment as bout for non-contagious bacterial pneumonia, known that she received a CT scan confirming illness, and she's now halfway there. The newly leaked 12 of Colin Powell's email offers a rare window into the former Secretary of State's unvarnished all times, scathing thoughts on Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, and all political adversaries who served him within the George Bush administration. The refugee plan angered some Republicans who cite security and economic concerns, but some Democrats say the U.S. accommodates even more displaced people. Ford is shifting all North American small car productions from the U.S. to Mexico. CEO Mark Fields said investors in J1 today, even though it plans to invest in Mexico, have become a lightning rod for controversy in this year's presidential election. The ACC announced Wednesday that it's moving all neutral site coverage championship games out of the state of North Carolina as well as the state's controversial House Bill 2 law that limits the legal protection of the LGBT community. Federal prosecutors are in an early stage in an investigation of sales practices at Wells Fargo, the company that led to the bank being hit last week with a $185 million fine on court. People familiar with the matter. European newspapers have been debating in the future shape of post-Brexit Europe next week, and some are not sure. European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker widely expected the State of the Union address may offer many answers. Hong Kong Typhoon Mirani struck China's mainland after pounding Taiwan, making landfall early Thursday near Xiamen and Fujian province, according to CNN meteorologists. London, British military intervention in Libya was based on inaccurate intelligence and erroneous assumptions. The report released Wednesday found pinning the finger of former Prime Minister David Cameron for failing to develop the sound in Libya. Seoul, North Korea could conduct this nuclear test in October, according to U.S. expert on the country. Seoul prices have stabilized in North Korea 6 months after the passage of tough United Nations Security Council sanctions. Brazil announced the privatization of 4 airports and 2 terminals in the efforts to revive. And an economy in which 12 million people are unemployed. Caracas, Venezuela, was a jailed Venezuelan political have formed a committee to political prisoners relatives to take on President Nicolas Maduro. The St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office released this photo of announcing that a mosque attended by a Pulse nightclub shooter on September 11th. Flint, Michigan, Donald Trump's last minute attempted win over African American votes spirited off course on Wednesday afternoon when the pastor of a historical black church could have been off amidst some speech reminding that he has not been invited there. Melania Trump has published a letter from an attorney who says he's reviewed her immigration history and that she entered the country for the first time in 1996 and complied with all visa laws. A day after, Gloucester Nats Police Chief Leonard Campbell has been placed on administrative leave, the city revealed Wednesday that another officer was moved from duty earlier that month. Washington, President Obama met with Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi at the White House Wednesday, meeting that spawned good news for the Southeast Asian nation. Washington, President Barack Obama's administration sealed the United States' largest ever military aid package to Israel on Wednesday, nearly $40 billion over 10 years. New York, Donald Trump shared a summary of his recent physical with health officials memoirs in an episode of his syndicated health talk show. Washington, the House Oversight Committee will hold a hearing with executives from Milan, the pharmaceutical company that significantly increased the price of EpiPen. Monsanto logo bears Monsanto acquisition faced politically charged scrutiny. Annual premiums of health insurance offered by employers have gone up less sharply in recent years, but workers are faced by child deductible before the coverage starts paying for care. U.S. stocks spread early gains and finished mostly lower. Wednesday as energy companies skidded with the price of oil. Take a look at the stocks now. Down 31.9 points at 18.34.77. SP 5 down 1.25, 21.25.77. But Nasdaq up 18.52 at 5,173.77. St. Louis, a new trader jet being unoffered. The U.S. Air Force has been displayed by Boeing and TX competition partner Saab. Albany, New York, for Detroit companies included Jets, Hasbro, and Mattel agreed to pay nearly $1 million fines for allowing vendors to track children's internet habits. When Jane got out, first encounter chimpanzees used the triggers of tools 1967 that the science that assumed only humans could do. She wrote an excited telegram to her colleague Blue the Slick Team now was to define man. We most kids here around us and too few of us seem to care, but nonetheless, scientists are increasingly convinced that the world is growing towards what has been a sixth mass extinction event. Pluto's largest blow shown as a red spot is dove pole that may be caused by atmosphere. Pluto scientists that's the most the detailed map yet of a billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy was released and along with a sneak peek at a brand new data on millions of stars collected by the European Space Agency Gale spacecraft. When was the last time you tested your house? Your answer could reveal a lot of home habits, but to find them in the news, they might have everyone up in their game and potentially keep it wet wipes and hand sensors nearby at all times. Robert Bolton of prostate cancer patient was initially assigned to receive active monitoring but switched to radiation treatment after 4 years. Angry protesters erupted a meeting in the city room at the city council of Miami Beach on Wednesday shouted, "No more Nellen!" and demanded an end to Spain and a fight to Zika carrying mosquitoes. Reports from Malaysia and Singapore today describe more details about Zika local infections, which a new study from Europe shows that decreases surveillance for microcephaly is likely in both countries. Washington, with 8 weeks to go before election day, Donald Trump posted that leader Hillary Clinton and two are locked in neither even contest support according to new CN and ORC polls in the two critical but later states. In 2007, Donald Trump spent $20,000 below his jersey. The Donald J. Trump Foundation, by a 6 foot tall, paid it and portrayed himself during a fundraiser auction at the Mar-a-Lago Club in Florida. Alright, take a look at some local news. Attleboro, traffic stop under the arrest of the Attleboro Bandit, Boston Bandit, drug peddler charges. Patrolman Alex D'Agostino initially stopped the suspects around 2 p.m. on John Street for traffic violations on Tuesday, but a subsequent investigation revealed that the driver's license was suspended and the passenger was wanted on a warrant, according to police, reported filed in the Attleboro District Court. Police also found a bucket and gloves compartment of a rental truck containing plastic baggies of pills, a digital scale with alleged cocaine residue on it, and $1,509 cash, according to court records. The accident was resisted by Detective Matt Fewcook. The driver, Dana S. Mitchell, 25, manifest section of Boston, the passenger, Robert J. Messenger, 23, Attleboro, pleaded innocent of Wednesday's possession of cocaine with intent to distribute a violent drug laws in the school zone. Mitchell also charged with possession of oxy pills, driver with suspended license, and failed to stop for a stop sign. Messenger was charged with possession of cocaine, according to court records. Attleboro, the voters were few and far between the state primary last week, but they'll change in the presidential election on November 8th. Attleboro, United Regional Chamber of Commerce is moving its office to Plainville. York, Maine. Maine State Police are asking the public help in the investigation of the killing of a woman whose body was found in a trash can 12 years ago. 40-year-old Wendy Burrell of Worcester, Massachusetts, was found in York on September 13, 2004, the same day she was reported missing. Officials have said that they believe that Burrell was killed somewhere else before the body was moved. Prospect ran out. A Massachusetts resident went out after police found him unconscious behind the wheel, but a rented vehicle had happened to needle on his forearm. Peter Channel News Time, 6:53. Time for Sports Report. Tonight, the Boston Red Sox will get underway in a couple of minutes out in Fenway Park in the finale of a 3-game series against the Baltimore Orioles at Fenway Park. Okay, take a look at some other scores around Major Leagues. Let's see. New York Yankees and the LA Dodgers. No score. Tampa Bay Rays defeat the Toronto Blue Jays 8-1. Chicago Cubs Blake DeSale scored 7-0. San Diego Padres and the San Francisco Giants 3-1, and the Washington Nationals New York Mets 1-0. Giants wide receiver Victor Cruz with Redskins quarterback Josh Norman. They had to get for the best receivers. Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton shows he has failed after running hard hits at Carolina's Week 1 matchup against Denver. Wolf Chris Bosh returned to the court after having his last 2 seasons cut short to the blood cuts and lungs and a cap. The Miami Heat All-Star forward had certainly believed he saw in Cincinnati Bengals and Cincinnati moved on for the wild card meltdown. Peter Chaladusa is there 6:54 on this Wednesday evening. It's time now for Extravagant Transit Report. Let's study off out in the MBT where someone SO4 experienced moderate lanes of disabled bus, SO1 experienced moderate lanes of traffic, commuter rail, vehicle train 744-603 inbound is now expected to operate 50-25 minutes late between Walpole and South Station. Vehicle train 723-645 p.m. operators may operate 5 to 10 minutes late between Forge Park and South Station due to a special event train traffic. Vehicle trains 724-705 p.m. inbound may operate 5 to 10 minutes late between Forge Park and South Station due to special event train traffic. Vehicle train 721 is operated 10 to 15 minutes late between South Station and Forge Park to the special event train traffic. In Providence train, 8:27, 6:10 p.m. from substation operated 5:50 minutes span to go between Wiggins and Providence stations. Alright, let's take a look at how was Zimbabwe's where 95 and not Bantai. It's backed up at not the Bridgeport. 95 not Bantai. It is backed up from 7 down to Bridgeport. 95 southbound backed up 7 all the way out to Port Chester, New York. But how is Zimbabwe's connected out? Looking good. 91 and not Bantai. Backed up Route 95 in Waven. Out of Red On. 95 is southbound side. Backed up in downtown Providence. 6 10 connector so on from 6 to 95. 146 southbound side backed up protected to downtown Providence. 95 is southbound side. It is backed up from 120 Kenton all the way out to Route 1 in Sharon. 24 southbound side is backed up to 128 out in Kenton. Route 7 Expressway. Northbound and southbound side is backed up from the split down to the Mass Pike. 93 both into downtown Boston is backed up. Mass Pike westbound side is backed up Logan Airport all the way out to Newton Corner. Mass Pike eastbound side back to Newton Corner and then again from Southie down the Logan Airport. 93 southbound side is backed up from Bridge in Boston all the way up in the Medford. Route 1 and the northbound side is 7 go from 93 in Boston all the way up to Revere. 120 southbound side is backed up from Woburn all the way out to Route 95 in Canton. 120 in the northbound side is backed in the split all the way to Route 93 out in 95 out in Canton. 495 southbound side it is 7 go from 290 in Margaret all the way out to the Mass Pike in the Westboro. Main traffic southbound side so around the Great Interchange. But how is the ball with Robot Direction main up? Looking good. Peter Channel time is 6:56 on this Wednesday evening. It's time now for a weather report and lines of showers and storms stretch around the Cape down to around from New Bedford down to Wareham, and a line of rain showers from coastal down stretching down for 7 Connecticut and down through the Long Island South with heavy rain on Long Island. And patchy rain showers from Bridgeport, New York, stretch up between Litchfield and down to Watertown, New Jersey, and the Delaware, Pennsylvania. Okay, 7-day forecast goes like this. For tonight, we're going to see a okay. Take a look at 7-day forecast goes like up. Scattered strong speed thunderstorms possible at 8 p.m. Temperature wind would be the primary effect, but 7-day forecast goes like this. A 4% chance of scattered showers at thunderstorms before 7 p.m. 7 storms produce gust winds. Most gust guys during the early evening. The gradual climate with a low end 53 degrees. West about 5 to 9 miles coming in north after midnight. Precipitation 40%. Thursday, south sky at 72 degrees. Northeast about 8 miles an hour for Thursday night. Patchwork after 5 a.m. west. Most coast sky about 42 degrees. Calm wind for Friday. Sunny sky at 74 degrees. Calm wind coming in south wind 5 miles in the afternoon for Friday night. Patchwork after 2 a.m. west. Most coast sky at 50 degrees. Southwest about 3 to 5 miles an hour for Saturday. Mostly extended most skies in patchwork before 9 a.m. High today 6 about 61 degrees for Sunday. Check the showers. After 7 a.m. mostly cloudy skies about 30 about 65 degrees. Precipitation 50%. For Monday, check the shower before 3 p.m. Otherwise, most cloudy skies about 37 about 62 degrees. For Tuesday, most of the sun and pockets skies about 80 about 62 degrees. And for Wednesday, sunny sky about 80 degrees. Currently, not near it. It's overcast skies and it's 71 degrees with a humidity of 99%. And that is going to be it for the Peter Channel. Evening news on this September 14, 2016 on a Wednesday evening. I'm pretty good evening and goodbye day to see you at 11 o'clock for a late night 11 o'clock report. Hope you have a good evening.